Hi everyone. Welcome to this important conversation. Today, I want to talk about something we don't address enough: the hidden struggles that men face and why they often go unnoticed or unaddressed. This isn't just a men's issue, it's a societal issue. And I believe we can all learn and grow by talking about it. So, let's explore these struggles together. Feel free to share your thoughts as we go along. I'd love to hear from you. The pressure to be strong. From a young age, boys are often taught to man up or be strong. Showing emotions, crying, or asking for help is sometimes seen as a weakness. This creates a lifelong habit of bottling up feelings, a habit that can lead to mental health challenges like anxiety and depression. Have you ever noticed how society defines strength? What does strength mean to you personally? Let's ask ourselves, why do we treat emotions as a gendered thing? Isn't being human about feeling and expressing? The silence around sexual harassment and abuse. Another hidden struggle many men face is the silence surrounding sexual harassment and abuse. This is a topic that is often dismissed or overlooked, mainly because it goes against the societal expectations of strength that men are taught to uphold. We often perceive sexual harassment as something that only affects women, assuming that men are too strong or too tough to be victims of such abuse. Men are expected to be the protectors, not the ones who need protection. When a man is sexually abused, it's often hard for him to talk about it. He may feel ashamed or embarrassed because it challenges the idea that men are always strong, in control, and capable of protecting themselves. If a man were to admit to being sexually harassed or abused, it may be met with disbelief or dismissal, as society tends to think that men should be able to defend themselves, especially if they are physically stronger than their abusers. Moreover, when men experience sexual harassment, they may feel as though they are being seen as weak or soft, which is contrary to the masculine ideals they've been raised with. They may feel ashamed of being perceived as vulnerable or attractive in a way that makes them a target for abuse. The idea that men can be victims of sexual harassment challenges the narrative that men are always the aggressors or the protectors in sexual situations. This societal belief makes it extremely difficult for men to speak out. They may fear that they will be seen as less masculine or incapable of defending themselves, which prevents them from seeking the help they need. This silence only perpetuates the cycle of shame and repression, leaving many men to suffer in isolation. It's crucial that we begin to normalize conversations around male victimhood, especially in the context of sexual harassment and abuse. Men need to feel safe to speak up without fear of judgment or ridicule. Acknowledging that men can be victims is an essential step in breaking down the harmful stereotypes surrounding masculinity and providing a space for healing. Men's lack of variation and adaptability. Men are often taught not to show variation in their lives or admit when they are struggling. They are told to be strong and unchanging. Women, on the other hand, are socialized to be more adaptive, especially because they may need to marry, move, or take on new roles. This adaptability helps women adjust to new situations, like becoming breadwinners when needed or managing both work and home responsibilities. But men's rigidity can backfire later in life. When they are forced to adapt, they may struggle with roles like caregiving or housework because they were never encouraged to learn these skills. Have you ever faced a situation where you had to adapt to a new role or responsibility? How did it make you feel? Height issues and comparison of earnings. Height and income are often tied to a man's perceived worth. Shorter men may face body shaming or feel less valuable because society equates physical stature with strength and dominance. Similarly, men's earnings are often compared, creating feelings of inadequacy for those who earn less. These comparisons damage self-esteem and reinforce the idea that a man's value lies in his physical or financial power. But is that really what defines a person? Have you ever found yourself comparing your success or appearance to others? How did it make you feel? Fathers and emotional distance. Many men struggle with being emotionally distant fathers. This isn't because they don't care, but because they were never taught how to express emotions. They often carry the belief that showing love or vulnerability makes them weak. Let's normalize emotional connection and encourage fathers to express their feelings without fear of judgment. Mental health stigma. Did you know that men are less likely to seek therapy or admit they're struggling? Studies show that many men feel ashamed of asking for help because they worry about appearing weak. But the truth is, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you're a man watching this, I want to say, you matter. Your feelings are valid, and it's okay to seek support. The burden of unrealistic media portrayals. Media often portrays men as stoic heroes, always strong, always in control. These unrealistic portrayals make it even harder for men to accept their own vulnerabilities. It's time to challenge these stereotypes and embrace diverse representations of masculinity. What's one stereotype about men that you think needs to change? Societal neglect in support systems. Finally, let's talk about how support systems often neglect men. From mental health initiatives to social programs, men's struggles are frequently overlooked. Society continues to raise boys with the same rigid norms, perpetuating cycles of pain and isolation. How can we ensure our support systems recognize and address men's unique challenges? And that brings us to the end of this heartfelt discussion. I know we've touched on a lot of heavy topics today, but the goal isn't to feel overwhelmed. It's to start thinking differently, to challenge the norms we've grown up with, and to make room for change. To all the men watching, I want you to know this. Strength isn't just about muscles or silence. Real strength lies in vulnerability, adaptability, and the courage to seek help when you need it. And to everyone else, let me ask you this. What can we do, individually and as a society, to create a space where men feel supported, seen, and valued for who they are, not just for what they provide? How can we teach the next generation that it's okay to be human, regardless of gender? Take a moment to reflect on the men in your life. Maybe it's your brother, father, partner, or friend. What's one way you can support them today? Sometimes, just asking how they're feeling can make a world of difference. Let's keep the conversation going because change starts with us. Share your thoughts, stories, or even just a word of encouragement in the comments below. You never know who might need to hear it. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for being part of this important dialogue. Together, we can break these cycles and build a better, more empathetic society for everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and the people around you. You're never alone in this journey.